In this session, we'll be seeing about the operators and expression in Python. Now, first let us understand what you mean by an operator. Okay, so an operator is used to perform operations on values, and it will produce a result after performing that operation. Now, the values used by the operator are called with a name called operands. So now let us see this example, then you will understand clearly what I mean by operators and operand. Now let us take the first statement. Here I am trying to subtract 3 from 10. So here 10 is an example of operand, 3 is an example of operand, and the subtraction operator, which is represented by this minus, is actually example of your operator. So now this operator minus will work on the values, which is 10 and 3. You can also call it as operands, and it will produce a result 7. Now in the next statement also you can see an operator. Okay, so this operator is the assignment operator, which is shown here with equal to sign. So what is the job of this operator? It will take the value on the right side and assign it to the variable on the left side. Now after that, the third statement also has an operator which is equal to, and it has two operands, okay, b and 20. Now it will copy the value on the right side to left side. And in the last statement, you can see we have 3 operands and 2 operators. Okay, so we have operands like C, A and B, and we have 2 operators. The first operator is equal to, and the second operator is addition. So here you know that addition will be performed first. It will add the value of A and B, so the result will be 30, and now that 30 will be copied into variable C. So now let us continue. Now we are going to see some of the operators which are defined inside Python. Now there are different types of operators defined in Python, like arithmetic operator, logical operator, then assignment operator. It goes like that. So now let us study each of those operator one by one. So the first type of operator that we are going to study is arithmetic operator. Now this operator is very familiar to us because this operator directly matches with the elementary max that we have studied. So let us start with the first operator, which is represented by a plus, and it is used to add 2 numbers, or it can be also used to concatenate 2 strings. What do you mean by concatenate is to join 2 strings together. So now let us take the first example. So here you can see we have 2 numbers. So plus will work as an addition operator here. It will add these 2 numbers 10 and 6, and the result will be 16. Now the same plus operator can be used with 2 strings. Here you can see high and wood. So this plus operator will just combine both of them together into one string, and the result will be this, okay, high wood together as one single word. So now you should understand plus can work with numbers and with string. Now the next operator that we are going to study is subtraction, okay, represented by minus. This is very simple. It works only with numbers, okay, so 10 minus 6, the result is going to be 4. Now following by that, we have the next operator, which is star. This also works with numbers and also with string. Now when it works with a number, you call it as a multiplication operator. When it works with string, you call it as a repetition operator. First let us see multiplication operation. So here you can see I have used star with 2 numbers. So now it will multiply 10 and 6, and the result will be 60. Now the next line you can see I have used this star operator with a string. Okay, so I have written high star 3. So high will be repeated 3 times. So the result will be this. You can see high is repeated 3 times, and now this is the output string for this operation. Now rest of the operators works only with number. So with arithmetic operators, just remember that only for plus and star we have an exception. They can also work with string. So now let us go to the next operator, division. Division works only with number, and if I do 10 divided by 6, the result is going to be 1.6667. So this is the exact value that you will get after dividing 10 by 6. The next operator is called modulus operator. This operator will find the remainder after the division, and it is going to give this remainder as the result of this operation. So if I do 10 modulo 6, Okay, so you know that 6 can go in 10 only one time, and the remainder of this division is going to be 4. So that will be printed as the result. So now if I do 10 modulo 3, you can see 3 will go 3 times until 9 in 10. So the remainder of this division is going to be 1. So the result of this statement will be 1. See, this modulus operator is kind of very important. When we actually start to program, you will understand it, because some of the programs can be done really fast if you know how to work with modulus operator. Now the next arithmetic operator that we are going to study is called floor division. So you will have a confusion here. We already studied a division over here. Why we require another division? So this division will remove the decimal part and it will produce only the integer part of the quotient as the result. So now you see, when you divide 10 by 6 over here, the result was 1.6667. So when you do a floor division, which is represented by 2 slashes, as shown over here, from the result, the decimal part will be removed, and only the integer part will be given as a result. So that is why you can see the result of this statement is going to be 1, because the decimal part is removed. Now the last arithmetic operator that we are going to study is exponent. It is represented by 2 star symbols put together without any space. So if I write like 10 star star 2, it means that 10 raised to 2. Okay, and the result is going to be 10 into 10, which is 100. So now let us just run this program to reinforce the concepts that we have studied. So our program is ready. So initially you can see I have given value 10 into A, value 6 is stored into B, and I have 2 strings over here. The first string str1 has value lens and str2 is having value learn. So first I'll just run the program and then we will discuss each print statement one at a time. Okay, so let me run it. So now we can see this is the result that I have got. Now in line 6 you can see I'm adding the value of A and B, that is 10 plus 6, so 16 will be stored into variable add, and after that I am printing the value of add. So you can see in the output value 16 is printed. And after that I am going to concatenate str1 with str2. You can see now the plus operator is used to work with 2 strings. So that is why I use the word concatenate. So now it will join the content of str1 and str2. So lens and learn will be combined together. That will be stored into str3, and then you are printing str3. You can see the second print statement prints lens learn together as one single word. Now after that we are going to use the star operator with string. We call it as a repetition operator. So I am trying to repeat str1 3 times and store that into str3. So str1 is lens, so it will be repeated thrice and it will be stored into str3, and after that you are printing it. Okay, print str3. So you can see the output is coming lens, lens, lens. Now we will study the modulus operator. So here you can see the value of A is 10 and value of B is 6. Now if you do a modulus division between 10 and 6, the remainder is going to be 4, and 4 will be stored inside this variable mode. After that you are printing the value of mode. You can see the value 4 is printed out. If you do a floor division between 10 and 6, the actual division will produce 1.666, something like that. Now the decimal part will be cut off. Only the integer part, which is 1, will be stored into FD. And after that, when I print the value of FD, you can see only 1 is coming out. After that, I am doing the exponent operator on 10 and 2. Okay, so this will do 10 raised to 2, and 100 will be stored into EXP, and I will print the value of EXP. The value 100 is printed. So now let us study the next type of operator in Python. Next we are going to study about relational operators in Python. These operators are also called comparison operator. So by this word you can understand this operator will compare left side and right side, and based on the operator it will produce either true or false. So that is the job of this operator. So now let us see with examples. Let us assume that the value stored into A is 10 and value stored into B is 20. So now let us start. Now the first operator that we are going to study is where you can see there are two equal to put together. This operator is called as equal to operator. So with equal to there are two different operators. The first one is a single equal to and second one is a double equal to. Single equal to is called as an assignment operator. We will study that later. Right now we are studying about this operator, okay? And in Python this double equal to is actually referred with this name equal to. You should also understand there is no space between both equal to, okay? It should be put together. So now let us see the first statement. A equal to B. So here you see the value of A is 10 and the value of B is 20 as per our example. So now you can see this evaluation or this comparison check is wrong because 10 is not equal to 20. So if I try to check whether value of A is equal to B, this will produce result as false. So we are actually assuming these values here, okay? So A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, and we will assume the value of C is also equal to 10, okay? You can see here, okay? So these are our assumptions. So now let us go to the next statement. There I am checking whether the value of A is equal to value of C. So now you can see value of A is 10 and value of C is 10. So this comparison check is correct. Value of A is actually equal to value of C. So this will return or produce the result as true. Now we go to the next operator, which is called not equal to. So now if you understand equal to operator very well, it is very easy to understand not equal to. It is just the reverse logic. Wherever equal to produce a true, not equal to will produce a false, and wherever equal to produce a false, not equal to will produce a true. So let's go to the first statement over here. A not equal to B. So right now the value of A is 10 and B is 20. Now you see this is correct because 10 is not equal to 20. So this will produce result as true. But when you go to the next statement, you can see value of A is 10 and value of C is 10. And now we are checking whether value of A is not equal to C. This is wrong. They are actually equal. So in that case, this statement will evaluate to false. Now the next operator that we are going to study is greater than. Value of A is 10, value of B is 20, is 10 greater than 20. You can see this is wrong, so it will produce false. B greater than A. So here you can see value of B is 20, value of A is 10. So 20 is greater than 10. So that is correct. It will evaluate to true. After that, you can see I'm just trying to compare greater than with two strings. So I have stored lens into the variable name1 and learn into variable name2. So I am comparing here actually lens is greater than learn, okay, because name1 is lens and name2 is learn. You should understand this comparison operation is done with ASCII values. ASCII values are encoded values that is used to represent each character inside your computer. So by standard, the ASCII value numbers are this. I will just write it here. Capital A will start at number 65. Capital B will be 66. Capital C will be 67. It goes all the way up till capital Z. So capital Z is having value 90. Now what about small letters? Okay. Now small a starts at 97. Small b, it will be 98. Small c will be 99. Continuously until small letter Z, and that has value 122. Now by keeping these numerical values in your mind, now we can do this comparison operator. So now let us see whether this is true or false. How Python test is like this. It will take the first character from the left side, first character from the right side. It will check which character has higher ASCII value. But unfortunately now both of them are same because both are capital L. So we cannot resolve. Now they are equal to. So now Python will check the next character. on the left side and next character on the right side. Now here also you can see both are small e, so there is no difference. So Python will go and check the third character from both of them. Now you see for lens the third character is n, small n, but for learn the third character is small a. Now you can see according to this chart the ASCII value of small letter a is 97. You can understand small letter n comes way below small letter a, so the ASCII value of n is going to be bigger than ASCII value of a, which is 97. So Python will evaluate that this side is higher and this side is lower. Now it will check the comparison operator. Now the operator checks whether this side is higher than this side. So now this will return true. Now if I invert the symbol like this, then this will return false, because actually lens is higher than learn. So according to this statement, you can see name1 is greater than name2 will actually return true. Now the next operator, less than. Now the value of a is 10, value of b is 20, 10 less than b, that is true. Now if I invert this, 20 and 10, so 20 less than 10, that is false. Okay, now greater than or equal to, if I say 10 greater than or equal to 10, this will return true because I have an equal to over here. So in the next statement, if I say 10 and 20 over here, if a is greater than or equal to 20, this will give false, right? Because 20 is not actually less than or equal to 10. Now after that we have less than or equal to, so here you can see I have 10 and 10, as I have an equal to here, this will give true, and here I have 10 and 20, and here if you check, if a less than or equal to b, this will produce true. So now we will use this program to study the comparison operator. Okay, so we have three variables a, b and c with the value 10, 20 and 10, and we have three string variable name1, name2, name3 with this string stored inside it. So you should know value of a and c is same, and value inside name1 and name3 are same. So now let me run the program. Now you can see the first print statement prints a set of stars, so you can see that over here. Now it will check the value of a equal to b. Now that is false because value of a is 10 and value of b is 20. You can see false is coming here. Now a equal to c, that is true, they have equal value, so true is printed out. Now I am checking value of name1 is equal to name2. This is false because name1 is having lens and name2 is having learn, so you will get false. And after that, if I use equal to operator between name1 and name3, it will give true because both of them have value lens in it. After that, it will print a set of stars. You can see it over here. And now I am checking whether value of a is greater than b. This is wrong because value of a is 10 and b is 20. So now you will see a false over here. Now I am checking value of a is less than or equal to c. Actually they are equal. So as I have an equal to inside here, I will get a true. Now I am checking whether name1 is greater than name2. So here you see the result that you get is true. So now if you check, name1 is lens and name2 is learn. So as I have discussed before, now what Python interpreter will do, it will take the ASCII value of the first character in name1, ASCII value of the first character in name2. Now in both of these words we have capital L, so it will go and check the next character. Both characters are small letter e. Now it proceeds to the third character to find the difference, and then you can see name1 wins over name2 because the ASCII of small letter n is bigger than ASCII of small letter a. Okay, so that is why when I check whether name1 is bigger than name2, that is true. But if I change this to less than, this will produce false because name1 is actually bigger than name2. Now after that, I am checking whether name1 is less than or equal to name3. You know both of them are having the word lens, so they are equal to. As I have an equal to over here, this will return true. So now let us continue. Next we are going to study about assignment operators inside Python. Even though the table looks really big, this is very easy because you just have to study about one operator. All other things are different ways of writing the same operator. So earlier I told you, if you use this equal to symbol only one time, you call it as the assignment operator. Why we call it as the assignment operator? When you use this equal to inside a statement like this, Python interpreter assigns the value 10 into variable a. That is why we call this operator as assignment operator. So this is a very commonly used operator once you start to program. So now example, you can see a equal to 10, value 10 will be moved into variable a. You can see another variable city1, and this string London will be moved into this variable city1. Now after that, you can see this assignment operator is used along with all the arithmetical operators that we have studied before. You remember addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulo, floor division, and exponent. So why we are using them along with equal to? So this is just a shorthand for doing a special operation, and it is completely optional. If you don't want to use this, you can go with the long way. Your program will work the same. So now let me explain to you with an example. So if I write like this, a plus equal to 10. So this statement is equal to a equal to a plus 10. So that's it. So if you are really lazy and you don't want to write this big statement, you can write this in shorthand like this. So both this statement will produce the same result. So now you can replicate this with all the operators that is coming below. So if you write b star equal to c, it means that this expression is equal to b equal to b star c. So now you can repeat the same thing for all the arithmetic expressions that is discussed subsequent to this table. Now just for the sake of explaining, we will go with the next operator, plus equal to. So if I write a plus equal to b, this is actually equivalent to writing a is equal to a plus b. Personally, I prefer to write it like this because it is a lot less confusing to me. Okay, but if you are smart, you can type like this in your program. It will work the same. Now the next example, you can see city1 plus equal to city2. This is equal to city1 equal to city1 plus city2. Okay, now the next operator, you can see minus equal to. So a minus equal to b is equal to a equal to a minus b. I don't have to go through all the examples, it's very clear to you. Now we'll take only one more example and then we will push to the next slide. Okay, so we'll take this star equal to. So here you can see a star equal to b. This statement is equal to a equal to a into b, and with string also, you know, the star operator works. So city1 star equal to 2 is equal to city1 equal to city1 into 2. Now the same thing you can apply for division, modulo division, floor division, and exponent. Okay, so here this is just division and assign, mod and assign, floor division and assign, exponent and assign. Just to understand this concept a little bit better, we will run this program now. So we have a program ready. So now let me run it. We have the result here. So now let's see, value 10 is stored into A, value 3 is stored into B, lens is stored into city1, and learn is stored into city2. Now I'm printing a line of several stars. You can see that is printed out over here. Now after that I have A plus equal to B. Put a hash. This is actually equal to writing A equal to A plus B. By checking the result, you can understand it's producing the same value. Now in this statement, you can see I'm adding value 10 and 3, that is A and B. I will add, I'll get 13, and that is stored into this variable A itself. After that, when I print A, you can see it is printing 13. So now you can understand this statement and this statement evaluates the same. Now after that I have city1 plus equal to city2. So I will combine city1 and city2, that is lens and learn, and the result will be copied into city1. So now city1 has lens and learn together as one single word. So now when you print city1, you see the result. Lens and learn is coming together. After that I am printing a set of stars. Okay, so we have that stars over here. Now I have A star equal to B. So this is equal to A equal to A into B. So A into B is 10 into 3, that is 30. So right now you should know the value of A is 13 because we have changed it. Okay, so right now the value of A is 13. So 13 into B, that is 3. So 13 into 3 is 39. So 39 will be stored into A and it will be printed out. So you can see value 39 is coming out here. And after that you have city2 into equal to 2. So now the content of city2 will be combined twice and it will be loaded into city2 itself. So learn will be joined with another learn, and learn will be copied into city2. So now when you print city2, you can see the result is coming as learn. So now let us continue to the next operator. Next we are going to study about logical operators in Python. If you want to combine two comparisons together and then produce a combined result on them, whether it's a true or false, then you have to use a logical operator. So logical operators are used to combine different conditions, and these two conditions will be evaluated separately, and after that these two conditions result, whether it is true or false, will be again combined with the logical operator to produce the final result. I can understand that I have confused you enough. So now let us take some examples and learn what it is. So before we start, we will assume the value of A is 10 and value of B is 3. So now let us start. The first logical operator that we are going to study is AND. It is called as logical and this is how you can use it. So I told you a logical operator, for example AND, is used to combine two different conditions. So you can see on the left side I have the first condition and on the right side I have another condition. Now the left side condition can evaluate either true or false. The right side condition can also evaluate either true or false. Based on these values on the left side and right side, AND will produce the final true or false for this combined condition statement. So now before we start with this example, let us see how AND operator works with the condition values. So let us say I have condition 1 and condition 2. So in this example, A equal to 10 will be our condition 1, B equal to 3 will be our condition 2. So here you can see in this table I have written condition 1 and condition 2. I have told you condition 1 can be either true or false. Condition 2 can be either true or false. So altogether you can have 4 combinations, right? Condition 1 can be true, condition 2 can be true. So if both of them are true, then AND will produce the final result of this combined statement as true. So that is why true is coming here. Now if the first condition is true and the second condition is false, AND will produce the final result as false. Now if the first condition is false and the second condition is true, then also AND will produce the final result as false, and if both conditions are false, AND will produce the final result as false. So now to remember AND, it's very easy. Now you can see when both conditions are true, that is the only situation when AND will produce a true. Rest all other situations where any one condition is false or both conditions are false, always the result is same. Right? The result will be false. So now let us come to the first example over here. Now A equal to 10, you can see the value of A is actually 10. So we are checking whether 10 is equal to 10. So this will produce result as true. Now we go to the right side. B equal to 3. So we know that value of B is 3. So 3 equal to 3. This will also produce true. So now you see for logical AND operator, first condition is evaluating to true. The second condition is evaluating to true. So now AND will produce the output for this entire statement as true. So now let us go to the next example. A equal to 10. This will produce true because we know that the value of A is actually 10. The second condition, let us check here. B is greater than 5. So value of B is 3. 3 greater than 5 is false. So now your logical AND operator is saying that condition 1 is true, but condition 2 is false. Now according to this table, you know that if any one side is false for AND, the result is going to be false. So you can see the final result will be false. Next example, a greater than 10. This is false because value of a is 10 and 10 is not greater than 10. So this is false. And b not equal to 3. So right now the value of b is 3. So 3 not equal to 3 is also false. So for and, if both sides are false, the result obviously will be false. Next we are going to study about logical OR operation. Now before we come to the example, let us go to the truth table for OR. So here you can see if condition 1 for OR is true and condition 2 is also true, the result for OR is going to be true. If condition 1 is true and condition 2 is false, still OR will give a true. If condition 1 is false and condition 2 is true, again OR will give a true. Only when both the conditions are false, OR will give a false. To remember OR, it is very easy. When both conditions are false, OR will give false. Everything else, it will be true. So if any one side is producing a true for OR, the result will be true. So now let us see the first example for OR. So a equal to 10, that is true because the value that we have assumed is 10 and value of b is 3. Okay, so now a equal to 10 is true, b equal to 3, that's also true. So true and true, OR will definitely give the result as true. Now the next example, a equal to 10 is true, b is greater than 5 is false. But as we have OR, you can see any one side I have a true, the result is going to be true. Now the third example, a is greater than 10 is false, b not equal to 3 is false. This is the only situation in which OR will produce a false because both conditions evaluated to false. So now the result will be false. The last logical operator is called as NOT. NOT is a reversing logic. Okay, it is called as logical NOT. If you have true, you put a NOT on that, it will become false. And if you have a false and you put a NOT on that, it will become true. And also NOT works only on one condition. Okay, whereas and OR work on two conditions. You can see here, okay, but NOT works only on one. So first let me check whether a is equal to 10. You can see this is true, but I put a NOT on top of that true, the result is going to be false. It will invert true to false. Now in the next example, you can see a greater than 10, this is false. So you put a NOT on top of that, the final result is going to be true. That's why I told you can invert false to true and true to false using logical NOT operator. So now let us continue. With this program, we will clearly understand how logical operator works in Python. So we have four variables defined over here, a equal to 10, b equal to 3, city 1 is London and city 2 is Berlin. Now we have some if statements with this condition check. So now let us see if this entire condition evaluates to true, then only the print statement inside if will work. Otherwise the control will go to the next if. Okay, so now let us see how the first condition evaluates. Now a equal to 10 is true, b is equal to 3 is true. So when you combine both true with and, the final result is true. So it will print out first condition is equal to success. So this we will see in the result. Now the control will go to the next if statement. There I will check whether a is equal to 10, that is true, b greater than 5 is false. Now it's an AND operation between them, so the final result will be false. So the next print statement will not be printed in the result. So we will not see second condition success. Now the control will go to the next if condition check. There I will check a greater than 10. You can see this is false and we have an AND. And after that I see an AND operator. So now if you understand the logic, it will be clear. You don't have to evaluate the next condition, because for AND, if one condition evaluates to false, the output will be false. So the third output also will not be seen. Now in the fourth if statement, we will check city 1 is equal to London, that is true. City 2 not equal to Berlin, that is false. The result is going to be false. So this will also not see in the result. And finally I am checking if not a equal to 9. So first let us see a equal to 9. What is the result of this? Value of a is 10. So a equal to 9 will give false. Now I am using not operator on false, so the result will be true. So now the control will come inside. It will print fifth condition is a success. So now let us run this program. Alright, our program is ready. Now according to the result that we have discussed, only the first if statement and the last if statement will be successful. So in the output you should see only first condition is equal to success and fifth condition is equal to success. So now let us run it. So you can see here. So now you can see the output exactly matches. So according to our explanation and our understanding, the logical operators are working inside the if condition checks. Okay, so now let us continue to the next operator. Now next is identity operator. Now there are two identity operators in Python. The first operator is and the second operator is not. So first let us see is. This operator will return true if both variables have same value or they are referring to the same location in the memory. So if you have a, b, c with this value, so here you can see value of a and value of c are same, but value of b is different. So if I write this statement a is b, this will return false because value of a is 10 and value of b is 30. They are referring to two different values in memory, so that is why the result is coming as false. In the next statement you can see when I check a is c, both of them having same value, so this will produce result as true. So now is not is a reverse logic of is. So wherever you have true for is, false will come for is not. Now is not will be true if both variables have different values stored inside it. So if I write a is not b, so here you see is and not are two different words. Okay, you should give a space between them. So a is not b, you can see the value of a is 10 and value of b now is 30. So this will produce the result as true. Now in the next statement you can see a is not c, so value of a is 10, value of c is 10, is not is false. Okay, because they are actually equal, so this will produce result as false. Now let's see the program on the right side. Let me just draw the memory unit inside the computer. So when it sees the first statement, value 10 will be stored into it and a will be pointing to it. After that it sees value 30 has to be stored, so that's a new value. 30 will be stored and b will be pointing to it. And the third statement, interpreter sees that value 10 has to be stored to c. So already 10 is there in a variable, so there is no point of writing 10 again in memory. So it will just create a variable c and ask it to point to where 10 is being stored. So now if the id value of a, for example, assume that that is x, the same id value will be provided to c, and id value of b will be different. We will assume that is y. Now in this program I am printing first the id of a, so x will be printed out. Actually x is a big number. For now we will represent that big number with x. Now next I am printing id of b, so that will be different from x. So y will be printed. After that when I print the id of c, so the same id number for a will be printed again because both of them are pointing to the same location. In the next print statement I am checking whether a is b. So here you can see a is pointing to some location and b is pointing to some other location. So this will give result as false. A is c, this will produce the result as true because you can see actually both a and c is pointing to the same object, which is 10 stored inside the memory. And now I'll come to the next print statement. I am checking a is not b. This is true because actually they are not the same. They are referring to different objects. And the last print statement, trying to print a is not c. This is false because actually they are the same. A and C is pointing to the same object. Now the next operator we are going to study is called membership operator. Now inside this we have only two operators. One is in and the other one is not in. So first let us see what is the job of in. It will give true if the value is available in the sequence. Now we have studied three different sequences in the previous videos, right? We have studied string, we have studied tuple, we have studied list. So in any one of them you can use this operator, in and not in. So here you can see we have a sample list over here. So this list has 1 2 3 4 5 values and the name of the list is num. So in the first statement over here, I am trying to check whether 25 is in the list called num. Now the in operator will check whether 25 is available inside list. So here you can see 25 is available. So this statement will give the result as true because 25 is available inside this list num. Next I am going to check 66 is available inside num. Now when you check all the values inside this list, you can see 66 is not available, so this will produce result as false. Now in the next example, you can see 78 in num. You can see actually 78 is here, but still the output is coming as false. The problem here is with the data type. The value that you are stored inside this list is a integer, but the value that you are trying to search is a string. And how do you understand it's a string? Because it is enclosed in single quotes. So actually you are trying to find out a string with value 78 inside this list num. You cannot find it because I have 78, but that's integer, not a string, right? So that is why the result is coming as false. Now not in is the inverse logic of in operator. So this will return true if the value is not available inside sequence. So now if I check whether 25 is not in num, this will give false. Why? Because 25 is actually available inside the list. Now 66 is not in num, this is true because 66 is not available inside num. And 78 not in num, this is also true. Why? Because the string 78 is not available inside this list. I'm not going to explain this program because that's the same, right? Because all the examples that we have seen here, I have just written that inside print statements so that you can see the result as true and false in the terminal. Next, we are going to study about expressions, right? So we have finished with all the operators inside Python. Now we are going to study how you can combine these operators and operands together to build a big expression, for example, a mathematical expression which can evaluate into a value. So expression is a combination of variables, constant, operators that we have studied just now. You combine all of this together to create a big line that is an expression. Expression always evaluates to a value. So that's the job of the expression. If you have plus, minus, multiplication, everything inside an expression, it will evaluate one by one, and finally it will produce one single result for the entire expression. A single variable or a value is considered as an expression. So simply if you write 10, that's an example for expression. If you write a, that is an example for expression. But a single operator is not a valid expression. So if you write a plus without anything on the left and the right side, that is not an expression. So here, before we start with the example, we will say the value of a is assumed to be 10. Okay, so now let us see. This is a valid expression because it's just a value and the result will be 250 itself. If I just write a, the result is going to be 10. Why we are writing the result? Because you see, expression always evaluates to a value. Okay, now after that, a minus 3.14, it will produce a result like this. Now I can also have another expression with two floating point numbers. It will subtract and it will produce a result as this. I can concatenate two words with the concatenation operator. It will join these two words and the result will be this. After that, you see, this is kind of a complex expression. You can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4 operators inside it, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 operands inside it. So now it has to evaluate one operator at a time with operands, and finally it has to find the result. After evaluating this statement properly, the result is going to be 8. And in the next statement, you can see if you write just an operator, this is not an expression, the result will be an error. Now before we go to the next slide, let us see this expression a little bit more detail. Okay, so I will write 5 plus 3 into 4 divided by 2 minus 3. So let me try to evaluate from left to right. So 5 plus 3 will evaluate to 8. Now 8 into 4 will come to 32. 32 by 2 will come to 16, and 16 minus 3 will evaluate to 13. So now you see, if I evaluate from left to right, the result of this expression is 13. But you can see, if you give this expression to Python, the result is coming as 8. Now let's see how 8 is produced. So first, let me multiply 3 into 4 initially. Okay, so when I multiply 3 into 4, I will get 12. So now this is removed and I will get 12 here. Now I will do 12 divided by 2. Okay, so that will produce 6. Now I will do 5 plus 6. That will produce 11. Now I will do 11 minus 3. I will get the result as 8. So now you see, we have a problem here. The order in which I selected each operator from this expression to evaluate first will definitely affect the final result. So when I pick star to execute first, and after that I prefer division to execute next, and then plus and then minus, I am actually getting the value 8. But if I proceed sequentially from left to right, which means I will do plus first, after that multiplication, after that division, after that minus, the result is going to be 13. So you should understand, in Python, we have a preference order in which operator should be selected first for operating and which operator should be selected last. Now based on that, when you evaluate, the correct result is going to be 8. So let us see that rule and understand how Python evaluates a complex expression. Now to understand that, this is the rule, okay? We call it as operator precedence table. Precedence means this is like a ranking. So the first rank operator will always get the first preference to be evaluated, and the last rank operator will be done as the final operator in the evaluation process. So let us see, if you have a set of operator mixed inside an expression, if you have the exponent operator inside it, that is given precedence number 1. Precedence 2, the next level of precedence goes to positive sign and negative sign. This is not addition and subtraction. This is plus 10, that is positive 10, and for minus 10. Okay, so this is negative 10. So that are these two operators. Now the third preference goes to multiplication, division, modulo, and floor division. The fourth preference goes to plus and minus. Okay, the fifth goes to the comparison operator. The sixth preference is equal to and not equal to. Seventh is assignment operator. This is assignment. The eighth precedence goes to is and is not. Ninth goes to in and not in, and the last precedence goes to our logical operation and, or, and not. So now based on this information, now let us evaluate the same expression again. Now for operators with equal precedence, left to right evaluation pattern is taken. So here you can see, with precedence level 3, 4 operators which have equal precedence: star, division, modulo, and floor division. So if they come together in expression, then which one will be executed first? Then we will use the rule from left to right. So the leftmost will be done first, and then we will proceed to the right side. So now let us take this example, then you will understand what we were discussing now. So let us see now how it is getting evaluated. 5 plus 3 into 4 divided by 2 minus 3. So now let me write all the operators one at a time. So we have plus, we have multiplication, we have division, we have subtraction. So now let us see which operator has got more precedence. So here you can see multiplication and division falls to precedence ranking 3, and plus and minus falls to precedence ranking 4. So now you can understand multiplication and division should be done first. After that only we will do plus and minus. Now among this multiplication and division, which should be done first? Because you see, according to this precedence table, both of them fall into the third precedence level. So how we will resolve this problem? Now for that we have this rule. For operators with equal precedence, we follow left to right rule. So I will start from my left side and I will proceed to my right side and see which operator, multiplication or division, you see first. I see multiplication first. So now I have to multiply 3 and 4 first. So this is how Python is going to evaluate this. That is why we are studying this, okay? So 3 into 4, so the result 12 will come there. So now multiplication is finished. After that you have to do division, then only I can go with plus and minus. So now 12 divided by 2 will be done. So this will evaluate to 6. So 6 will come here. So now even division is finished. So now I have plus and minus. So they belong to the same precedence level. So how you can resolve it? Again, left to right rule. Now I start from the left side, I go to the right side and I see plus operator first. So now I have to do 5 plus 6. This will evaluate to 11. So now 11 will come. So even plus is finished. Now we have only the last operator, subtraction. 11 minus 3. The result will come as 8. So this is exactly how Python will evaluate this expression. Now you can use brackets to override the precedence that is set inside Python. Now when you write this expression, you have a special requirement. You want 5 plus 3 to be done first. And after that you want to divide 4 by 2. Then you have to multiply the result of these two operations and then subtract by 3. You can always provide these brackets and inform Python, this is exactly how I want you to evaluate. In this case, Python will forget about the precedence. Based on your brackets, it will evaluate and produce a result. So in this way, you can override the precedence, and based on your own evaluation criteria, you can make an expression work with the help of a bracket. So always when you have a complex expression written, it is better to give proper bracket than depend on the precedence value of the Python to take care of evaluating your expression, because sometimes the result that you're going to get will be completely different from what you want. Okay, so it is always recommended that if you have a big expression, give proper brackets so that you exactly know this is how your expression is going to evaluate inside the program. So now let us go forward. Now broadly you can classify all the operators that we have studied until now into two classes. It can be a unary operator or it can be binary operator. 90% of the operators that we have studied are binary operator. Unary operator acts on a single operand. Okay, now for example, plus 10 or negative 50. Okay, this plus and minus are sign operator. So this is negative 50. It works only on one operand. This plus works only on one operand. And you remember not works only on one condition, a equal to 3, right? It works only on one condition, so that's a unary operator. Rest everything, that's why I told you 90% of the operator that we study works with binary operand, which means it requires two operands to work. For example, A star B. Okay, so this star is a binary operator. Why? Because it requires two operands to do its operation and produce a result. So plus, minus, star, and is less than, greater than, all these things are example of binary operator. Okay, so you should understand plus can be a unary operator and a binary operator. The way in which you use it, Python will understand. So if you write a equal to minus 10, now Python understands this minus is actually the sign for this value 10, and minus 10 will be copied into a. Whereas if you write a equal to a minus 10, now you see this is a subtraction operator. It's a binary operator with two operands, a and 10. So plus and minus can actually work as unary operator and as binary operator. Now in this video we have studied about different operators in Python. Then we learned how to combine these operators and operands to produce an expression. Now we will study about a statement. So when you write a Python code, right, each line that you write inside this program, each single line, you can call it as a statement. So one line of code inside Python is called as a statement. A group of statement actually forms your entire program. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we'll continue with input and output functions.